Greetings YouTube! Today we're looking at the Kershaw Reverb, the 1225 WMX. This is the Reverb XL, which, XL? I didn't notice that till just now. This is not a big knife. There's a smaller one that's kind of amazing. One of the little blurbs here on the back that they talk about is that it's, 8CR13 MOV steel, not a real shocker. It's a manual opener, frame lock, G10/carbon fiber overlay, front steel back. Of course, in pocket clip as well as a carabiner style. So let's take a look at this particular knife. Now, here is the fact the side of the knife where the pocket clip is mounted. It's a single position, a tip up carry, which is my preference. It is a little unusual as far as the lock is concerned. And I'll get to that in a moment. But they're calling this G10 carbon fiber. It's carbon fiber, all right, but it is the thinnest piece of carbon fiber I have ever encountered. That's like a millimeter thick. It kind of made me laugh when I saw this. You got it, yeah. You're not lying. It is in fact there. I found this interesting. I didn't try it, but I wonder if that would function as a cap lifter. I would be really shocked if that would not work as a cap lifter. If anybody out there has ever tried using a Reverb XL to open up a beer, tell me. I'd like to know. I also like the addition of the little lanyard hole as well. So if you want to have a lanyard hole as well as that carabiner, you can. I think that's a nice addition. I also find it aesthetically pleasing. And this makes it very handy if you want to clip this onto the strap of a sling bag or an EDC bag or your pack or something. This would make this a nice a backup blade because it is not very heavy. In fact, I actually have my scale here today. $64 grams. This is not heavy at all. It's a good size. It's not overly big, like I said. That's why I'm kind of surprised they called it the XL. Now, this is unusual in the fact that this knife is a manual opener. Now, I got this out of the package and I'm poking around. I'm playing with it because that's what I do. I play with knives at my computer constantly. Yeah, that's my wife. I sometimes play with them in the living room, which is probably even more annoying. But this is a manual opener, and I cannot remember the last time I bought a manually opening Kershaw. It might have been like in the 80s. Seriously. So it's got this interesting, this whole thing in here is essentially the nail nick. So you've got lots of space to play with. Now, first thing you're going to notice that this is wonderful curved scimitar style blade. And it's got a really nice, nice subtle S curve in there that I find very attractive. Obviously, it's a coated blade, hollow grind, and it came out of the box with a decently sharp knife, sharp edge. I tried this with some paper and it cut admirably. I have not made any adjustments on this at all as far as the tension is concerned because I didn't really feel a need to it. So I find that actually the easiest and simplest way to close this is in that particular way. Deep carry pocket clip. This thing just disappears in your pocket. I mean, seriously. You can basically not see this knife. I mean, the pocket clip's sticking out of your pocket, but that's it. It's not wide. It's not long. It's 64 grams. So this carries very lightly, takes up no pocket real estate. It is manually opening. So even though this is a knife you're going to be carrying in your pocket, probably your right pocket for most people, you're going to have to use two hands. Now, it is possible to open this with one hand. I cannot do it here on camera because I actually have to snap it open and I need more room than I've got here to do that. But if I hold it firmly like this and I do it like that, oh, actually it came almost all the way, didn't quite lock. But if I do that when I'm not got a table under me, I can get it to lock open all the way. So you can open this one-handed, but then again, you can open a Buck 110 with one hand if you know what you're doing. But neither the Buck 110 nor the Kershaw Reverb were designed for that from the get-go. They were designed to be manual knives, which means this knife could be usable, like for example in Germany, where you can have a locking knife, but you can't have a knife that opens with one hand. But you couldn't carry it in the UK because, first of all, the blade length's probably too long, but you can't have a knife that locks. So you have to have a manual and a non-locking blade. Now, this is not the kind of knife I'm going to carry at work because it is a manual. And with my gloves on, I cannot do the one-handed thingy. So this was mostly a novelty item. I thought it was kind of cute. Now, interesting for me is the way they did this. Because this is technically a frame lock. There's no scale here. But the locking mechanism is inside the scale itself. It's not even the standard liner lock design, because most liner locks come there. This cut would come all the way to the edge. So this is inset, and I don't know if they cut this with a laser or with a plasma cutter. I don't think it would be with a water knife. I don't think water knives can be quite that accurate. So I'm thinking laser or plasma cutter, and I just find that fascinating because it's kind of both a liner lock and a frame lock. But I've never seen one buried inside the blade like that. Now, as far as the retention goes, it's pretty good. And in fact, can I show this on camera? Let's see if we can get that on camera. Get the light just right. That might do it right there. And you can actually see it drop that ball dropping into D10. So it's quite secure. As far as blade goes, nothing in either direction. It's quite nice. It is relatively comfortable. You wouldn't want to be doing a lot of heavy cutting with this because this here is thin and it's going right in here into the joint of your finger. But this is a small knife and you're going to be light dutying stuff. You're going to be opening mail, peeling oranges, cutting an apple. You're not going to be opening packages, things like that. You're not going to be doing a lot of heavy duty cutting with this thing. But it is pretty. And I think this would make an excellent knife to carry if you were in an office environment. It's not going to shock or stun people. They're not going to freak out. It's a small size. And it has to be opened with two hands. So that kind of a situation makes people much more comfortable than if people whip out a knife that they flip open with their finger or with a thumb stud or a hole like a blade hole like a Spyderco. That can make some people nervous. And some people erroneously think that like assisted opening knives are automatics, and they're not. But this is a nice little knife. I think it would be a great addition to anyone's collection, particularly if you're looking for something light that you want to carry on your backpack as a backup. This could be might be a nice option. So overall, I'm glad it's in my collection, even if I'm not going to be carrying it on a daily basis. So this has been the Kershaw Reverb XL, and once again, I am still a Kershaw fan.